Hey guys, it's Heather with Jumping Spiders USA. So you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/Jumping Spiders USA. You can find a care guide that I wrote at jumpingspidersusa.com, and you can follow us on TikTok by just typing in Jumping Spiders USA. So before we get started, make sure you give this video a like, comment, share, subscribe, click the little notification bell so you get notifications for all future content. So this evening, what are we talking about? So separating slings, aka baby spiderlings, after they are born. So I know that it can be very enticing to separate them as soon as they come out of the egg sac. I think sometimes it's because, well, number one, just get it over with. And number two, you've made all these little sling cups and they're just so adorable and you just want to use them. But the thing is, there is some evidence that shows that they do better together for a while, that that fewer of them die if you keep them together after they emerge from the egg sac. And so when they start to emerge from the egg sac, and if you want to know all the details about when they're going to do that and all that stuff, I'll link to a video about that down in the description. But once they emerge from the egg sac, they oftentimes will come and go for a few days. Sometimes you'll see them out and then they'll go back into the egg sac. So just because you see them out doesn't necessarily mean that you need to start taking them and putting them in their own cups. So leave them to do their coming and going thing. They will probably do that for a few days. And then once you notice that all of them are out and staying out, you can start to separate them if you want. If it were me personally, I would leave them all together. And mom doesn't have to stay in there with them. That's one thing that, I usually separate her, after she lays the eggs, the next time I see her out hunting or drinking water or whatever. A lot of times I'll transfer her to her own enclosure and then leave the babies in theirs so that, she's off doing her own thing and not annoyed by all her 1,000 babies. And then so once they're out and then they're staying out after that, they're in their own enclosure. Mom's, already off doing her own thing. So it's just the babies in their own enclosure. And I just leave them alone. Once they start coming out, I just leave them alone. I let them come and go for a few days. I dump in a whole bunch of fruit flies for them. And that's really the extent of what you have to do. Mist, don't spray any baby spiderlings directly. They could drown. You could also use wet Q-tips or wet paper towel or, whatever. Not super wet, just a little moist. Make sure you change it every few days so it doesn't get mold on it. But it makes it so much easier. It's better for them. More of them live. But also, it's better for you because once you separate those slings, it is work. Just feeding them. Especially if you do it, each individual one, and then opening all those sling cups and dumping in fruit flies. And you're going to be doing that every day for slings for a while because slings will eat every day for a good while. That takes so much time. So, to save yourself a whole lot of time and trouble and to promote, more livingness of your babies, just keep them all together and dump in a whole bunch of fruit flies every day and they'll eat them and all be happy. And you can leave them together for probably another couple molts until they're probably I3, I4, something like that. If you start to see any aggression earlier than that, if you start to see some of the bigger ones, because you're going to notice some size differences pretty early on, just in the same clutch. So if you notice some of the big ones starting to pick off some of the little ones, start separating them at that point, even if it's earlier than a couple molts after. But mostly that's not going to happen. It can happen, but mostly it's not going to happen. But just leave them together. They'll be happier. They'll be healthier. It'll be easier on you. So, with that said, I am really rooting for you on this one. Be sure to find us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/jumpingspidersusa, and we'll see you there. Have a good one.